Gondolas sailed on Venice green waterways as the sun came up on Valentine's Day in 1500. In the Defancio mansion, a well-known family's home, servants were busy setting up red curtains and fancy wall hangings for that night's dinner and dance to celebrate love. The main attraction was the pretty 18-year-old Belinda, who was expecting a romantic promise from her soon-to-be husband, Matteo, a young man under her family's care. The partygoers had no clue that the Defancio family kept a deep secret connected to one of the greatest historical events, a secret that had to be kept safe, no matter what. For years, the men in the Defancio family held on to an old scroll full of mysteries. It had been in their possession for ages. They alone knew the explosive truth it held, dating back to early history and the birth of Christianity. Belinda looked into the mirror as her servants wove pearls into her rich, chestnut-braided hair. Her thoughts drifted to Matteo. Although he had no noble blood, the Defancio family took him in as one of their own years ago, after his parents died in an attack on his family for being part of the hidden society. Belinda was happy that her folks had let a romance blossom between her and Matteo, even if they were a bit cautious since the two weren't related by blood. Today, the relationship would become official and known to everyone. Belinda was full of hope, but wondered if Matteo was ready to handle her family's secrets when the time came. As night approached, visitors showed up by both gondolas and walking across the bridge. The ladies wore long silky dresses that brushed against the marble floors. Inside the great hall, thousands of candles shone bright, while a quartet played Vivaldi's music on their violins and lute. A huge table was set, overflowing with food like colorful veggies, olive rosemary bread, lobsters, and crab from the lagoon cooked in butter, skewers of pork soaked in wine and juniper, and a dense nut and dried fruit cake called pan fort. Everyone gathered with their cups full of shimmering wine. Defancio stood up and said, "Dear friends, today we are here to celebrate St. Valentine's Day, and also to announce the engagement of our dear Belinda and our ward, Matteo." Sounds of agreement filled the room as Defancio added, "We love Matteo as our own child and couldn't be happier about this match." Matteo looked at his future wife with affection, then spoke to Defancio. "I can hardly express my gratitude for all you've done for me since I joined your family. I just don't deserve it. I must be blessed by fate." Seeing this, Belinda held Matteo's hand warmly to encourage him. Defancio's wife, Constantina, was dressed in a beautiful silky blue gown. Around her neck was a dual-strand stone necklace that was only worn on these special occasions. Soon the necklace would be passed to Belinda, just as it had been passed to her. The necklace had been passed from mother to daughter for almost 1,500 years as a family heritage and was directly related to the family secret. Constantina watched the couple, her eyes shining brightly. Tonight they join as one. Would this lovely pair please make their way to the ceremonial table? A wave of quiet swept through the crowd. As Belinda and Matteo walked to a smaller table covered in dark red velvet that held a fancy glass bowl from Venice containing 2 silver rings. These rings were crafted long ago by a master craftsman. Matteo took Belinda's hand softly and promised, "I swear to always be true to you until death separates us." "And I give you my everlasting love," whispered Belinda, radiating happiness. As the engagement rings were swapped, the room burst into claps, cheers, and well wishes. The band kicked off an upbeat dance tune, and the men spun their ladies across the checkered marble floor, while servants in white gloves kept everyone's drinks topped up. Matteo was suddenly overcome as he suddenly felt the weight of the family secret and the treasure that he would soon assume responsibility for. Looking over the party from behind tall marble pillars, his attention was drawn to some strong men standing guard near the walls, ready to act if needed. Memories of whispered tales linking the family name, Defancio, to ancient shadowy guards with ties to the bygone Knights Templar filled his thoughts. His memory drifted back to that fateful day when one of the guards and his good friend and trainer saved him after his parents' death by the church hunters. He pondered that fateful day as the sounds of mirth enveloped him. Right at that moment, Belinda showed up, her golden silky skirts catching the light as she softly grabbed his hand. "Let's dance, my love." Matteo didn't look back and just followed her towards the bright candlelight. Any questions and worries he had faded fast. That night, it was all about them. Two lovers reveling in their affection in a dazzling scene filled with beauty, tones, bright lights, and giggles that filled the Venice evening.